Holy moly. How's it going, ladies and gentlemen? My name is RuffledRowlit, and honestly, right now, it probably looks like my room is really, empty, at least on this side, and that's because, I took my thingamajiggies and just put them up there, so more air could come through my room. Jeez. Either way, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a brand new video. Today, guys, we're going to be talking about a brand new potential leak. So, there's been a lot of, things popping up recently, as you guys may know. After the big direct that happened, there's been tons of crazy shit going on, and I thought today we'd cover specifically a new one that popped up with somebody trying to claim that they have more information, because there was already that one guy who leaked a bunch of information on the 23rd of May. He leaked a bunch of stuff about what was going to come for Pokemon Sword and Shield during the direct and what's in the game. And honestly, I believe the things that he said, but there was a lot of grammar issues in the stuff that he wrote. There's a lot of weird discrepancies and that sort of stuff. But there's a lot of information there, and apparently today we have a brand new one. Potentially from the same guy. Now, it's not confirmed if it is from the same guy. It's trying to do the same thing that the last guy did, except the difference here is that this guy has better grammar. The other guy had worse grammar. His English was somewhat worse. The real guy, the real guy who posted the original real leak, he had way worse grammar. This guy's got way better grammar, so people are thinking that maybe it isn't real, maybe this guy's just bullshitting and that sort of stuff, so do keep that in mind. But let's get into the actual stuff, though, ladies and gentlemen, which is going to be quite interesting if I am to say so myself, if that makes any sense. We're going to make sure we get the actual right thing here on the screen, so you guys see what we're doing, because otherwise you're probably going to be super lost. So let's head over to that. So here we go, ladies and gentlemen. What we have in front of us right now is the actual rumor. On the side here, there's actually a picture of the Ben Affleck picture, just on the first rumor. I'm not sure if you guys can see it. No, you can't. Even if I zoom out, you guys can't even see it. So no matter what I try, you guys can't actually see it. But it's got the Ben Affleck being all tired and smoking in the corner picture or whatever. Just standing in the corner and just being all tired and stuff. And this one's called Pokemon Sword and Shield. More details from Anonymous on Thursday, the 6th of June. So I haven't actually talked about this very fast. I didn't get to it because you got to understand there's been so many things. I've been just trying to organize everything guys have sent to me. And honestly, keep sending. Go right ahead. Email me. Whatever you want to do, go ahead and do it. But there's just so much. So here's what it says, though. Other Pokemon receiving new Gigantamaxing forms. Now, Gigantamaxing is the other thing that was mentioned alongside Dynamaxing by the first leak, the real leak. So the real leak, which we're going to call the Ben Affleck leak. So the Ben Affleck leak, okay? The Ben Affleck leak, the original one, actually, specifically said that there are two different things, right? There's Dynamaxing, which is just going to make your Pokemon huge, and there's Gigantamaxing, which is different and actually works more in a way of how would I say this? It doesn't actually, just make your Pokemon larger, but it actually also, it more, increases sizes on certain parts of the Pokemon and kind of increases its, powers. Kind of like a mini Mega Evolution, right? Changes, aspects of a Pokemon, but isn't really, Dynamaxing precisely. So, either way, let's continue. So, other Pokemon that will be receiving Gigantamaxing forms are all 4 of the Tapu Legendaries, which will become masks to become giant Colossi. Now, I'm assuming this is supposed to be something very similar to, the Power Rangers when they, Power Rangers Assemble or some shit like that, I guess that's what this is meant to be. Again, I apologize about you guys not being able to see everything. I'll actually try right now to get a screenshot of this and actually put it on the screen here so you guys can actually see it, because it's probably really frustrating, hearing me say these things and not really understanding what I'm, looking at. So here is a better picture. I'll even, if need be, I'll zoom out. Oh, actually, no, you just can't even see that. I can't even see that. But here's basically what it says, though, which is that all 4 of the Tapus will get that. Then Charizard, Flygon, Tyranitar, Hydreigon, and Volcarona will receive Godzilla-inspired design changes with their Gigantamaxed forms. Now, here's an interesting theory that's been actually talked about, and that theory that I actually believe and I actually thought about myself when we were talking about some things the other day. But if you guys remember the Pokemon press conference. During the Pokemon press conference, one of the people who worked on translating and taking the Pokemon Detective Pikachu movie and translating it over to Japanese, that guy who runs that company, who's the CEO, he specifically started promoting the new Godzilla movie during that session, during that kind of press conference. He started promoting that, and people are saying that maybe here he was hinting, maybe in this during this thing, he was actually hinting at how we were going to get Dynamaxing, which essentially is Godzilla-sized Pokemon. It's like Pokemon getting Godzilla-sized, you know what I mean? Or Gigant-sized, you know what I mean? Which is what they literally got. So it's kind of interesting, it's a potentially cool theory. It's a nice theory. I like it, and it's kind of intriguing actually that they were kind of putting in these seeds of hints and stuff. Which honestly, I'm gonna say right now, it's so Game Freak-like. It's so Pokemon Company-like. It's so like them to do that sort of stuff. You guys may not, like, believe it, but they do this stuff all the time. Masuda hints things all the time. All the time. He leaves pictures, and they are hints to what's to come. Same thing with, like, just the Pokemon Company across the board. They do that stuff a lot. They really like being very mischievous about that sort of stuff. Like, ooh, look at us. We're so special. You know, they love doing that. So, next thing. So, Charizard, Feraligatr, etc. inspired by designs changes with their Gigantamax forms. Meltan evolves in-game by leveling up while Dynamaxing into Melmetal, which is very strange of a way to evolve, but okay, I guess fair enough. Rotom, who takes control of the entire stadium to fight. Now, this makes no sense. So, Rotom, who takes control of the entire stadium to fight. Would that be a Gigantamaxing Rotom then? And, like, that would be a little bit overpowered and just a little bit... I think it's a little bit too over the top, honestly. I think this is where I feel like this loses any faith for me, because that sounds too over the top. And again, we don't even know if this is the same guy. This is just somebody maybe just trying to, you know, seem like they're the same person, but probably not. So, I don't know. That just feels a little bit ludicrous. Like, if it's one thing that, like, you know, Rotom has become a camera now, and it can film everything, and it also just become a phone. You know, it films like the battles when they're happening, like the Rotom cam or whatever, or like Rotom as a camera, you know, like action camera. And you know, being a phone, but becoming a whole stadium doesn't make any sense, because the whole stadium isn't made out of like electricity, right? Like, there are parts that are just pure concrete, right? Majority of it is just concrete. The only things that it should control then would be the lights and stuff, and I'm pretty sure it can't control more than one object at a time. And since a stadium isn't a singular object, but rather several like pieces into a puzzle, that just seems a little bit ludicrous. But who am I to say? So, after becoming champion, the player will be given meeting their manager Alan, who will help with sponsorships. Now, I'm really curious about this because this was mentioned in the actual original, I think, leak as well. The original leak actually said something like that about, like, you know, you need to get like a sponsor, not a sponsor, but like you need to get like somebody like a manager or something like that. Who like manage your stuff. So you got to sponsorships, host tournaments, and create advertisements and posters that can be seen around Galar. Which actually this does make sense, because there's this whole sport thing about it, right? Like, the whole region seems to be more about like Pokemon battles as a sport, right? Hence why gym battles aren't fought, you know, one-on-one in a gym with you and like the whatever you know, gym leader you're taking on, and just your, you know, your average normal battle. Instead, it's in this grandiose way. So you're probably gonna have, you know, for example, Mailloux, his fans all wear like green shirts and support him. Oh, by the way, that's gonna be so awkward. By the way, you're gonna come in there and be like, "Hey, what's up, dudes? What's up? My name be Ruffled. My name be Ruffled. I'm about to take on this gym, and all around you, it's just green supporters." Like, that's like literal football matches. That like almost never really happens, because usually, you know, you at least have some people from your home team in like a little corner somewhere that, you know, over there, like, you know, like Grandpa Sully and like, you know, Grandma, you know, Grandma like in the corner, like, yeah, go little Ruffled, you know, just cheering for you still. But like in this thing, it's you against the world, dog. It's you against the world. And it seems to make sense, because they hype up how, like, you know, the battles are the biggest thing. It's like the most, they love battles in the Galar region, etc. All that stuff. So it does make sense with the whole, you know, the whole premise for it to be like a very sport-oriented with the sponsors and stuff. So during these missions they provide you with money on unlocks. Actually, here's, during these missions provides... Yeah, here's some grammar issues. Money and unlocks new outfits, TMs, and access to additional locations of wild areas, which sounds reasonable, actually. There are over 98 new Pokemon, more counting form changes, which would be perfect if that is true. Honestly, that would make me so happy, but who knows. Potentially very single Pokemon can be obtained in through the online raid battle events. Game Freak plans to have monthly online raids planned alongside events hosted at local retailers. One of the first raids planned is Torterra, to coincide with Detective Pikachu movie, which, spoiler alert for anybody who hasn't seen Detective Pikachu, skip ahead by like a minute or something, or maybe less, like 40 seconds. But in the Detective Pikachu movie, there's actually like they're doing experiments in this experiment area where they keep Mewtwo. They're doing experiments on Pokemon to just kind of bring out their like different versions of them, and one of these experiments is to make Pokemon bigger, like huger, and they literally make Torterras into bloody islands. Like, they're the sizes of islands, like small islands, but still islands. They make them literally the size of islands, and like that's like, you know, another form of, you know, Dynamaxing and like becoming huge. So I think that would make a lot of sense. Now, Leon, his team yells anonymous leader, who uses his social media and power of fandom to target and damage trainers' reception, so they lose sponsorships, in order to remain an unchallenged champion from trainers who he thinks could beat him. He thinks Sonya purposely let him win their match years ago and feels weak. He captures the other version's legendary in order to feel powerful despite leaving Galar unprotected by the evil legendary Eternatus. Which, that sounds like the most epic premise ever, dude. And that also stems from the theory about Leon actually being evil, like inherently evil, which... Let's be fair, he kind of does feel like it's kind of an evil dude, like, that's just kind of the feeling he, like, gives off, or, like, you know, the kind of, that's the little bit of the feeling he gives off, let's be honest. So yeah, it actually makes a lot of sense. So next thing, Eternatus has the power to control the minds of Pokemon and Gigantamaxing and Dynamaxing them into raid Pokemon. It's the first outright evil Pokemon that can only be caught via Dynamaxing. In order to use Eternatus, the player must purify his evil by befriending, playing, and petting it at camps. I'll post more later. So that is that. I don't know if there's anything else from this rumor and leak and whatever, guys, but if you find more about this one, let me know in the comment section down below. Send it my way. This was sent to me by the Red God Leo, so shout out to you, man. Thank you so much for sending this my way, dude. I appreciate it. And he also included kind of like, you know, all this kind of written down. If you guys want to look at it right here, you can pause my video, read through it, and you don't, you know, so you don't need to like look at the other screen. I could have actually read this. This would have been way better to read. Just didn't think about it that much. But now you guys can pause the video right here and pause the video right here, and you can read it yourself, and you don't need to listen to me like read through it. But yeah, either way, that's about it, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you guys did enjoy the video. If you did, then drop a like down below. Thank you so much for watching. My name is RuffledRowlit. Have yourselves a great day, and bye-bye, ladies and gentlemen.